Let it snow outside. It's cold and the fire's blazing. So baby, let it snow. Hey, yeah. Hey y'all, what's going on? I hope y'all like my little um, reflection of beautiful snowflakes. Those of us who are adjacent or in the Midwest, we're seeing these right about now. And right now the weather is it's still warm. So we're still appreciating the beauty of snow. Okay? But listen, y'all. I really need y'all help. I really do, family. Let me just say good morning to ya. How you doing? How you doing? I really want to tie in black culture and this Chrisean and Claressa Shields. And at this point, at what I saw, she has a sister, Tasiki. I think that's her name. And what I'm saying is they trying to pass this stuff along as black culture. When Claressa talked about being, pretty much bullied, and a lot of us know what happens to the bully. The bully, stands up to the person that bullied them, or a lot of times they become bullies. But that's neither here nor there. Our kids should not be going to school and every day packs of girls are trying to whoop their asses. And so for any of y'all who think that's normal, I mean, we got to kind of start right there, because what they're doing is they're turning us to make our appetite for degeneracy grow. And so a lot of people out there saying, hey, you see how they act? You see how they act? And then you got black folk who back in my day would have been called Oreos or whatnot. These are that are producing this content because they get in the bag, as we discussed before. And then you got people who take this degeneracy and make that like it's the culture of black folk. Certain segments, yes indeed. Subcultures of a culture. Just as many church folk as you got going to church and they kids don't participate in that. You got sections of kids who are so diabolical because they don't have no direction. They're just like ships without sails. And their parents are like ships without sails. And from infancy, they've watched their parents involved in a whole bunch of drama and fighting and all chaos. Okay? And that's what they produce. Okay? And what I'm saying is, sometimes you do have followers. But I'm saying at the root of it, any kid that jumps out to fight adults and stuff like that, there's no respect there. They don't respect their parents. Because even if you respect your parent, your parent don't put up with no sane and rational parent. You can call it what you want to. I don't care what generation it is. No sane and rational person would allow their kids to act like savages, knowing people gonna send the National Guardian on them, gonna do whatever they can to keep painting them with a brush as being uncivilized mutts and and kids and people that need to be brought to heal, and in some cases they really do. But anybody in their right mind are gonna try to steer their children away from that, even in that environment, and they gonna be invested enough in their kids' upbringing that they're not gonna let that shit happen to their baby. You heard what Claressa said about her mother. And I'm not saying she hasn't overcome them by God's grace and glory, and I congratulate her because I know it was a struggle. Okay? But at one time she was young, like those stupid parents that's allowing their kids to beat up and stomp adults. Or, 300 kids getting into a gang mob mentality. What it shows me is there was a through line between Chrisean's mom and Claressa's mom. Addiction, uneducated, not thinking about no damn education, not even thinking that this could change my life as well, because they would much rather let their lives be changed through fast means, right? And I can't say nothing about that because I've made choices, and sometimes they weren't the best. I just didn't get caught. Lucky for me. Okay, so I'm not gonna knock what nobody has had to do and they had done. The fact of the matter is, how could I have done? Some people have done those things and still knew their education and not representing yourself that way. Will keep the heat off your ass. And some of y'all don't care, you just welcome it. And I think it's totally unfair to your neighbors if they call in ICE on your ass. What could you possibly say if ICE had been in on them kids? Because I saw the parents in the communities that came out against that type of behavior, and it was quite a bit. So don't sit up here and act like all black people were raised like that and wanted that to happen, because that was no. But there was a section. And I don't know about this 300 kids yet. We're still dabbing into that information. But y'all, does the pain that we suffered from slavery allow us to not give a damn no more? That's what my question is. And we think that all we got to do is fight. Hey, look, I ain't talking about professionally, because I love the game of boxing. I come from a family of boxers. I always say that. I have an uncle that fought Sonny Liston. Okay? I talk about that. I talk about Israel Acosta, Bruce Finch, who passed away, rest in peace, my beautiful brother. Don Lee, middleweight, beat Marvin Hagler, the only one that he was afraid to fight, pretty much. All these guys. Sugar Ray, Floyd Mayweather Sr. Okay? So, I understand this. But ain't none. Floyd took his boy to the gym with him. And Floyd had a lot of bad problems. He had a lot of demons. You know? And part of the reason why his son was having a problem with him till they worked that shit out. But he did want his son to be around something other than just hanging around the streets of Flint, Michigan, or the roads, should I say. You know. And even though he participated in that nefarious behavior, you see what came out of that. All of us, I realize that pressure makes diamonds. Okay? But y'all not trying to, when we're not trying to be diamonds, when the leading show in the black community or what they showing to our kids is baddies. What the fuck? And black people are producing it. Well, we know where the money coming from. But these guys are producing these movies, these series, and y'all supporting it, and it's making us look worse and worse and worse. But I can't say it's not real, because you heard Claressa say them is the same kind of girls that used to follow her home from school and bully her. We can't get mad at white people for that behavior. You know what they gonna do? Like they always do, monetizing. And here we are, got ice poured in on our communities. Come on, y'all. I saw just such a coalition between, real life, and then they turn it. It's so real for a certain sector now. But they gonna amplify it and do it times 50, so everybody will think, pretty much that's how we roll. We much rather see you rolling like Claressa than just fighting people out there at random, running up and down the streets on State Street, shooting people and doing crazy shit like that, where one of your strays can go bullet, ain't got no name on it. And you got the whole community terrorized because your ass don't know how to control yourself. It is too much. And so I know y'all saying where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this, y'all, is I was in shock because I ain't never seen. I mean, it's crazy. But it's like, okay, this the content? This what we own? I'd much rather turn out Claressa Shields, who fought her way out of that shit. Claressa fought her way out of that shit. And Claressa, you don't need to be associated. And I know this sounds crazy, because I can't tell you what to do. You're a grown ass woman, and I'm sure you gravitate to that because it feels comfortable for you being a fighter and being around them, that crazy ass energy. But it's just not good for your brand. It really ain't. We need to elevate ourselves, y'all. And Chrisean, Claressa, these damn kids out here that's like stray dogs, feral dogs that jump on adults and stuff, that come out of homes like Claressa Shields or Chrisean. And the second part of that is that baby. So I don't even want to go there. I told you I'd had enough. Epitome of dysfunction. The epitome of it. And I love y'all so much. And we are such a brilliant and beautiful and excellent specimen of people. I don't want to sit up here and say, I'm not going to say we the best. I can tell you we the first. And we living so far beneath where we supposed to be. I don't even know where to start, because I find myself going, what? This can't be real. And I'm laughing not because it's comical, because I can't believe it's real. And then here come Trump. Nah, he the right president that you got. All right, let's send it ice. How can you... Listen, all I can say, y'all, is Claressa, I'm glad that you won and made it up out of the struggle. Because that's 299 kids. That's one less from that subculture in our culture that they want to act like represent us. But we know, because we trying to get them to elevate themselves. And some of them can't be saved. Some of them don't want to be elevated. Some of them think we talking crazy and getting on their ass. That's what a lot of them think. So now you gotta be like, no, honey, I want you to win. I done seen us lose a lot, but I've seen us win too. And can't do nothing without our young people. How you gonna pass the torch? This is a fucking relay. We passing torches, all right. All I can say is, without being on the soapbox, I love y'all, and I see the through line between Claressa Shields' mother and Chrisean Rock's mother, and a whole bunch of mothers like that. USA, I know them. They in my hood. They in my neighborhood. But I know we can do better. I just know we can. And that's my challenge. That's my challenge. That's my prayer for us. That we up our appetite from this nonsense. I'll see you in the next video. If you like what you hear, family, if you like it, then love it a lot. Give it a like, please. And subscribe to my channel. Pass it around. Let's get down. Let's get down. Let's get down. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.